And we've got one great show ahead of you.
I love it when I can stump the chooch.
Oh, boy, that's a tough one, Frank.
And welcome to another exciting edition of the Great Lakes Smoke Show. Take it away, Ron.
Good evening, aficionados, and welcome to another Great Lakes podcast show. And it is going to be episode number 1, a new premiere, monthly premiere of a special show that we put together for the leaf lovers. It's called Unraveled, folks. And as you can see there, we have a new logo for the Unraveled show. And we are super, super excited to bring this once a month to you. And
educate everybody out there.
It's basically class 101. And tonight's professor that we will have from Oliva himself, our very good friend, Brian McQuire. Welcome, Brian.
Thanks for having me on. This is nice to be the guinea pig.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
And we do have a couple of your sales reps from other companies watching you tonight. So let's see what
Listen, this is all a proprietary blend here. I'm not giving away any secrets. It's above my pay grade.
It is. Well, folks, thank you for joining us. Obviously,
look who's on right away.
Oh,
Goni.
who do we talk about? And Goni will be on, I think, in 2 months. So, thank you, Goni. We'll talk to you soon. So follow Brian's ways. If we find a mistake, we'll fix it. So we'll work it all out. Grab yourself a paper and pen. You might want to jot down a lot of information that Brian's going to bring your way about the leaf itself. And we are really excited. This is a first for us. So we hope that you also will find this interesting because we can't wait to get started. So getting started first, let's bring in our sponsors, Frank. Take it away.
On a small farm nestled along a river in southern Honduras grows an estate-grown tobacco so exceptional. Stop, please. No moss. This is Dan Blunt for Alec Bradley Cigars. Some copywriter handed this to me expecting me to read it. Good Lord. Do me a favor. Pick up an Alec Bradley cigar. Light it up. Spend an hour with it. You'll be glad you did. We'll talk again real soon.
Loyalty, passion, courage. These are the founding principles of K by Karen Berger Cigars. The Maduro, the Habano, and the newly rated 93 by Cigar Journal Connecticut. Do yourself a favor and check out this wonderful line of cigars that come from a completely linear company from seed to your hands. DAV Cigars out of New York. Decades of experience combined with true love and deep understanding of cigars result in the highest of standard of each DAV hand-rolled cigar. Experience the magic of Rockefeller cigars today. With 11 years steeped in tradition, passion, and mystery of the leaf, Rockefeller has a cigar just for you. Be like the greatest magicians and make Rockefeller cigars appear in your lineup with any of our 4 lines. The Nicaraguan, the Dominican Blue, the Vintage Gold, and our new LE, The Art of Magic.
Before you light your next cigar, be sure to check out Cigar Medics, the makers of the patent-approved humidimeter. The humidimeter is a tool designed to display the relative humidity inside your cigar. With this device, there's no more guessing. Simply insert the probes into the foot or cap of your cigar, and you can instantly know if your cigar is ready to be smoked. Buy now on cigarmedics.com and see site for other cigar accessories. With the humidimeter, you'll know when to hold them and know when to smoke them.
We are back. Of course, they're sleeping over there.
Who's sleeping?
The White House.
Here's the sleeper. Here he is. Welcome, folks. Welcome back. And sorry about that. I mean, grab them hard. What can I tell you?
Whoa.
Anyway, folks, we are turning this whole show over to the professor right now, and you're going to learn a lot about the leaf. So, Brian McQuire, take it away. It's your show, buddy.
Thanks, Ron. Before we get going right away, I just want to shout out congratulations to Ron, who had his first grandbaby this week.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate all the likes and words and everything. Thank you. It was awesome.
So one thing we were just talking about all the agriculture that goes into it and the importance of it, the importance of fertilization, the importance of how to grow the tobacco, cure the tobacco, fermentate the tobacco, and then age it properly as well. And in all these steps, it's amazing when you look at a premium cigar. There's over 3,000 steps from seed to box. And you walk out of there, if you go on a factory tour, you walk out of there going, holy cow, cigars are cheap. And it's amazing. There's a ton that goes into it. I'm going to try to cover a few basics for you guys. We're going to start out tonight with, we're going to dissect the Cane F Habano 660 Gordo, which you'll be able to see some Liero leaf in here. Liero, of course,
delicious smoke.
it's very smooth, but it's very rich. Liero is the most powerful leaf. It's the highest portion of the plant. There's basically 4 parts of the plant. There's this, when the plant grows, there's the sand leaves, which good growers will go out and cut those off and seal it with pectin so the nutrients goes up and the leaves don't go into the dirt, because the tobacco leaf is definitely, it's like a sponge. It'll absorb flavor. If you ever had a cigar and said, oh, this tastes like dirt, it's because the leaf's been laying in the dirt. It wasn't cared for properly in the plant, and you're smoking dirt.
Yeah.
Then you go to the first level, which is the viso, and that, or volero, some call that as well. I think that's a Cuban term, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But that gets less sunlight. So it's picked first. You crop it as you take it off the plant. You go from top to bottom. The Seco's in the middle. The Seco is the most aromatic of the leaves in there. And then the Liero is on top. And the Liero is the last to be picked. It gets the most sunlight. It gets the most nutrients. So what you're getting there is a graded wrapper that's bigger. It's used for binder. It's used for wrapper. And we're going to show you all about that. We're going to open this up right now. And we're all smoking the Cane F right now. We're going to do a few cigars tonight. And I'm going to show you a basic way. And then I'm going to show you one way that I've just been trying. Yeah, move it over. I bought some paper plates in there because Teresa keeps a perfectly clean house. I don't want her getting yelled at.
It's all good.
So here we go. Well, if you can see that, you see the cap on there. So the cap is an essential part of the cigar. This is a premium cigar. You want to treat it right. As someone once said, you don't decapitate it, you scalp it. And you can always do that. So you'll see, I'll cut it, and then you'll see there'll still be cap left on it. It actually goes down pretty far. So to really ruin the cigar by cutting the cap off, you got to make an effort to do it. However, people do it. So an easy trick if you're afraid of it, I taught my daughter this years ago, and this became like her party trick when all her friends turned 21 and they were smoking cigars. The boys would say, Bella, cut my cigar for me. And I don't know if I can get that in camera there.
We're going to move the camera, folks, just to see if we get a better angle. Bear with us. Again, this is our first, so we're working out all the kinks here.
Okay, so there we
go. The ginks. That's a new term, too. Kinks.
Kinks. I said good kinks. Come on.
So you're seen
all the way in Florida. You're not listening.
We've seen the flat back cutters. Here's an easy, cheap version of it. You just take the cigar cutter, place it down, and then push it through. There you go. You got a nice cut. The cap's still on there, as you'll see in a second. So let's crack her open and see what we got. So I'm just going to press this cap, break it, hopefully not crack the cigar too much. And there you see the remainder of the cap comes off, and then we'll go to the leaf. We'll go to the wrapper.
Hey, Brian, is the cap part of the wrapper at that point?
It is. So once they're done wrapping it, they take a circular piece cutter and they cut the tobacco, and then they take the pectin, which is a organic, basically it's a rice based glue, and that's what they use to keep the wrapper and the cap on, and actually the buttons too. Oh, the mic in here. Got some chirping in the studio audience here.
Oh yeah, rough crowd.
So here we go. It's hard to find it. There we go.
Who invited them?
So now you're going to see this come off.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at that wrapper. Look at the oil that's in there. This is a Habano wrapper.
Nice oily. Look how oily that is. Yep.
So there you see that. And so this has been aged at least 6 years, this cigar. So when this comes off the plant and it's cured and fermented, it's very pliable, there's a lot of elasticity to it, which is key because you're wrapping all this wonderful tobacco here. And as you can see, there's a lot of tobacco in this cigar. So if you look right there, if you can see.
The thickness. What gauge is that?
So this is a 660 Gordo. So now we'll go to the binder. The binder typically is a wrapper that doesn't make grade. It's got some imperfections where you might see, water spots or, sunspots, something you don't want to see when you open up a box of premium cigars you just paid for.
Mm-hmm.
However,
this, of course, you said this is the very top of the leaf.
Mm-hmm,
right?
That's the Leo, the plant, right? So this one is being stubborn.
Sometimes you got to work it a little bit.
Please
but it will
go through there.
So what direction, when they're rolling, Brian, what direction do they roll from the cap sides to the tip?
That's a great question. They do it from the foot from the top to the cap.
Okay.
Left-handed leaf and right-handed leaf on the wrapper, depending on which side you cut it from. So you're rolling it from a different side each time.
Gotcha.
So typically a binder's, it's a big. So there you go. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Nice.
And there's some imperfections in there. There's a little puncture there. There's some stems in there. Not a little veiny, not stems. Excuse me, but still, again, you can see it's pliable.
Yeah, it's still got elasticity.
Yeah.
Still has elasticity to it.
Yeah.
Now, when guys are out in the fields, sometimes before the leaf is cured, they will take a cigar and just hold it up. To see the circle, to see how it burns. And if if the leaf's ready, you should have a perfect circle in there. It should burn nicely.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Good trick.
Very cool.
So now we're going to go into the fillers and get past the other binder. The binders, like I said, typically cut into two because it's such a big leaf. All right. So there we go with that. Okay, so you can see it doesn't take a lot to see that this right here is a nice Liero plant right there. Look at the color of that.
Wow.
And then you're getting some Seiko in there. If we had smell-o-vision, you could smell how good this tobacco smells right now. It's very aromatic. Again, pliable.
The Seiko is really your combustion, right?
There's combustibility in it, and that's key to a cigar.
making it burn.
But it's very aromatic. It's used as a filler as well. So this is long filler, as you can see. But what happens is, some people think, oh, you got long filler, you got a leaf this big. Well, no, they cut the fillers because there's different blends in that. So as you pull this out, and as you see this.
Now, as you're pulling it apart, what kind of bunching process did they use to make the cigar?
So
we talked about some tubular, accordion.
See, like that. So that's exactly right. So you're doing a tubular. You're not making it like a spiral notebook where you just flap it closed. It's not going to burn. It's not going to work right. So what they do is they cut the leaves, they give them the blend, and they bunch it. You can see the points are at the top, so it burns properly. So this is all long filler in here, but you want it in a tubular formation. So when you light it, there's oxygen and it goes around 360 and it continues to burn the cigar well. One thing I did want to mention at the beginning, and I overlooked it, is when you have the wrapper, you know, it's around the binder and the filler. You can't see it with the naked eye, but there's a gap in there. So that's why it's so important to light your cigar the right way.
Toast it.
Yeah, and you basically just want to hold the flame up and go around. So you create a little circular ring and then set it down and then light the cigar again. Flame doesn't have to be on it. You prefer it not to be on it. And then you just do that too. You go in a circular motion to make sure it's lit all the way around. And you can see we all did that. We're all smoking. Nothing's canoeing here. It's not going the wrong way. You can see the nice ash building up. And I had this sitting down for a while.
Well, this is a great cigar to start with.
The taste is unbelievable, which we'll get into that in a little bit.
So as you can see, I mean, look at this is a darker, obviously a stronger
really rich in color
cigar, a lot of richness, and like I said, very aromatic. Once you open that up, you can smell. But look at all this,
smell that film.
All this tobacco into one cigar, and see, this is the tubular here. You can see how they just really pack it and bunch it.
Strong.
So what they'll do is,
very nice.
There's a good look at a tubular formation there. What they'll do then is they'll bunch the cigar, put it into a mold. Our particular process, we take the molded cigar to a draw tester, which is it's a machine, and you adjust the gauge based on the ring size, and then you put it in there, and the needle will go up and show you if it's a good or bad draw. If it's a bad draw, they discard it, and they talk to the roller about it. The roller doesn't want to have discarded cigars; they have a quarter to make, so it keeps the process moving. But again, you can see all the tobacco out of that. It's a gourd.
Wow, that's one cigar.
Right.
It's amazing.
But
tobacco
that's
is in it.
right. And then you look. So here, this is obviously some Fiso from the bottom in there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You know, a little different color. And you can see the difference when you look at a wrapper as to the filler and binder with the veins in there.
Yep.
You know, look at the wrapper on this. This is just smooth. There's no stems, no veins. And it's interesting, you know, there's so many, it's the same wrapper, but there's so many different colors of the leaf once it's cured and fermented. There's actually people, and we usually use women because they have better eyesight, believe it or not, and they will sort. So there might be 300 of these cigars, let's say, sitting on a table.
Yeah.
And the difference is minimal in the color, but it's so important. This is a luxury item. So they want you to open that box and be wowed. They don't want you to see 3 different colors in the top row.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't want to see that because then you're questioning it.
Right.
Even though it's the same cigar.
Unless it's a barber pole.
This is true. Yeah. And that's a trick question. He always throws me off. You know?
Yeah, he's got to get you, you know.
Hey.
So, and that's a good
that's
one.
what we're here for. That's what it's all about.
Just another chooch on the show. That's
See?
all right, you know?
Brian the Chooch.
But as you can see, so that's why you look and you see, you know, inside you see the difference. Look at that. I mean, look at the difference. And
Now,
that's a binder.
We were talking about the leaf before. What exactly would create such differences in taste? Let's just say the same fields are producing basically the same plant.
Right.
And yet there's variations.
Certainly.
What do you think that is?
Well, there's in different regions, there's different soils that create different tastes and different richness, different bodies.
Yeah. Volcanic and salt from the seas.
Sure,
like
absolutely. And even within Nicaragua, there's different regions. There's Condega, Jalapa. Jalapa yields a sweeter tobacco than Esteli. Esteli is the benchmark for Nicaraguan tobacco, though, and that's the rich, bold, smooth tasting tobacco that is nowadays the best seller out there. And you know, it wasn't always that case. It's been refined over the years, and right now they're making the best tobacco out there, and it's most sought after. And it's nice. You can blend that with, you know, different countries, different regions. So, you know, something like this, you know, like we have a Daytona cane, we use a little more Jalapa Liero in there. So you're getting a different taste. To your point, might have, you know, it might have similar fillers, Not always. It might have something in there that's similar to the F or the Maduro, but there's the way they tweak that. You get different tastes coming off, and that's where you got to tip your hat to these guys who know how to blend tobacco because they know what they're going after. They know what to add to change it. It's amazing. I mean, the process is truly
one
amazing.
layer of leaf will
Right,
change the whole cigar.
Yeah, even a small portion, a small tubular roll in there will change the whole balance, the whole taste. It's amazing.
How about names? You mentioned the Daytona. How do they come up with these names? Do you know how?
They were partying in Florida.
That's
it.
They went to Bike Week. They went to Bike Week in Daytona.
That's a good guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. So let's put this one aside, unless you have any questions.
Yes.
And then-
Actually, there's a few people who want to see you re-roll it.
Oh, sure. But then I'll put the beanie bag in the
But
bottom.
now, what we should talk about too is now some of these leaves are going to burn at a different rate when they're they deconstruct it like this.
Yeah, can we see the difference? I mean, we have an ashtray right here.
There's a difference in like what will catch on fire, which will burn out
rate
outright.
of combustibility.
Yeah, so some of them are usually will slow the process too.
Mhm.
So when you have everything together,
That's exactly right. And you that's another great point because you want balance in the burning too.
Sure.
Because otherwise, if it's rolled incorrectly, you'll get a canoe. If it's lit incorrectly, sometimes you'll get that too. And that's why I was saying the importance of going around the parameter of the cigar and just molds the wrapper and the binder together.
and even for us, cigar aficionados at home, this is why it's important to rotate your cigars in your humidor, because if you leave your cigars in one position, you could be prone to canoeing because the cigar is
Been
humidified
sitting on one side all that time.
Yeah,
It's
and,
flattening. There's water. There's too much water.
It's like having a car sitting forever. I mean, you'll get flat spots in your tires.
Yeah,
The same
yeah,
principle
Right.
applies.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And that's a great point. So we can light this binder up a little and see what happens.
If you catch it on fire, just drop it right in Bob's drink.
Yeah, no problem.
that adds to the smokiness in the bourbon.
Yes,
Absolutely.
You go to Chicago, that's like a $12 drink.
Right,
down there.
This is called a craft cocktail. So see, here's the binder. You see the smoke coming through here because there's a little imperfection there.
Yeah.
You want to have that on the wrapper. And the wrapper again is more. It's the elasticity of it is great. It wraps the whole binder and filler and keeps the cigar
But
together.
look how even it is burning, though.
Right. Even
a part like that.
I just burnt it. Yeah.
It's got a beautiful.
But and that will continue
If
to
you go
burn
around the
on
room,
its
though,
own.
you can get rid of all the bad spirits. You know that.
So like Kyle said, that's just going to continue to roll,
Right.
burn, nice and slow.
That will continue.
Which is
probably right to the end.
See the smoke coming out. This is just a. Yeah, it'll.
I don't know if they can see that.
And
at
that's a
home,
sign. That's a sign of a good cigar too. I mean, I've had people
See
say
how it's coming right out.
but right out.
Draw on that. That's fabulous.
It's getting hot.
That's
But yeah,
That's beautiful, though. That's a
Big
beautiful
difference.
burn.
and you can smell the aroma in that, right?
Smell that? It smells delicious. Though. Yeah.
All right.
What a great smell.
And then be careful.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That is amazing, folks. If you're here, we wish you could.
Yeah.
Yes.
Too bad we don't have a
Smell-o-vision hasn't been a
Smell-o-vision.
But
Yeah.
But
hasn't
your
been
point,
down.
Kyle, too, is a great point. Now, if you're smoking a cigar and you put it down, like I just did, I had this cigar sitting down.
Yeah.
I deconstructed that. I didn't take a puff out. I picked it up. It's still going. I've had in one cigar I would have mentioned, the one I wanted to bring on here in particular tonight was the nub because it's such a deceiving cigar.
I love the nub.
I'm
It's
a
one of my
huge fan.
favorites.
When it came out, I was a consumer, and it was, I think, 08. I bought the nub Habano. I said, I got to try it. It's a gimmick, I'm sure. And I have not had, one in my humidor since then. It's a great cigar. It's probably the one I smoke the most from.
Really?
Yeah.
And I tell you this, and Brian turned me on to the cane nub that's out there. I love the cane nub now. It's great flavor. It's a good smoke. It burns even.
But is it different from the Gordo?
Yeah.
It'll smoke different. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I actually feel that the cane nub has just an ever so milder taste to it, maybe
Really?
even on the verge of sweetness versus like the full, like what we're smoking now, the full cane here. But that's what I found through smoking the nubs. It is a different smoke to it. See how it's pretty much all burnt out.
But evenly, even burn all the way
to
through.
your point, see how fast that burns.
Yeah.
Now, if that was just your cigar, you wouldn't be a happy camper. You spend $15 for a cigar that lasted 46 seconds.
Well, this is what cigarette people go through. You know.
Yeah, that's how quick they go through it. Absolutely.
Got to get back to work.
But isn't that something though? You combine that with other leaves and you blend it the correct way, and you roll it.
And
it smokes for an hour and a half.
That's the point. Yeah, with these different leaves together, and you got
We've
an hour
seen this so
plus
many
smoke.
times. Yet I got to tell you, each and every single time I see this segment type, it just blows me away.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
fascinating.
so much
It is
more
fascinating
about it. It really is.
But as a normal cigar consumer, it's hard to take a $12 stick that you just had and destroy it. You know,
well, that's why we have Brian here.
Yeah, and that's why that's why we invited.
We're not stupid enough to do it. Our
Don't
cigars.
tell Tracy I got these out of her humidor because I'm not going to be invited over for dinner again.
No, but it's fantastic, unbelievable.
And yeah, it's just about done now. Oop, don't mess up your cigar.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Light,
So we can move on to
tobacco aroma.
Good.
Yeah,
Say that again. Yeah, the room is.
it's got a
definitely-
lot of
Yeah,
fragrance.
Tim
to
is
it.
one of our audience here, the president of the Chicago Pipe Club.
Resident delicate flower.
the
The leaf, the aroma in the room right now, folks, is a very light, full-bodied tobacco aroma. A little woody, but it is almost like a traditional incense. It's beautiful.
right, and it's
It's
not
beautiful.
the scent coming off of the cigar.
No.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
That's why I'm a little blown away here, because usually the cigar has a very complex. This is that inner core of the cigar, and usually the room note of a cigar is very strong. This stuff is like incense.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm buying a couple sticks just to
Just to crack them up.
smudge my house with.
Yeah,
Should we move on to the nub?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Frank, put a couple of those statements up there. People, there you
I
go.
have been. What do you think I'm doing, Ron? I'm working here.
Yes,
Now
Barry.
keep working.
Cut that up and put it into a pipe.
Yeah, and you could, Tim. You could do that. You
You
cut
could do
up
that,
and put-
sure. Tobacco's tobacco.
Yeah.
Get the German Meerschaums.
There you go.
My grandfather always did.
Mm-hmm.
The entire cigar, nothing went to waste.
Well, see, and that also brings up a nice idea too. Is like, so when you're smoking a cigar, you smoke it down to where your fingers can go. So you got about an inch left of cigar.
Yeah.
You start collecting those, and then just start grinding.
Yeah,
that up.
great idea, Kyle. Look at you.
Yeah. Years ago, they used to call that the roach.
Bob, that was a different plant.
Oh, that's right.
Different
Yeah.
greenery.
Different species.
Yeah. Barry said we cut it up and put it into a pipe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
definitely. So,
Okay,
yeah,
so now
we're
we're
gonna
going to
go
go
with
to the nub.
the
We're
nub.
gonna go with the Nub Connecticut. Obviously, a different wrapper, lighter. This is an Ecuadorian Connecticut. Can't grow Connecticut in Nicaragua. The soil's too rich. The
Okay.
environment's
Can
not
you grow it in
correct.
Connecticut, though?
You can.
Don't make it in New York.
Yeah, not New York.
It's around New Haven.
So again, you see the cap. Look, the cap's all the way down there on the cigar.
Oh yeah.
And what I love about the nubs is it's classic. You'll be doing an event, and guys will come up and they're like, "I love that," and they'll say, "That's a good short cigar." Well, they must be hotboxing these things like crazy because this is not a short cigar.
It still takes me over an hour to smoke a good nub. That's
Right.
why
Really?
I love lighting those things up when I'm golfing, because I can usually get through 9 holes smoking a nub.
And this
Okay.
is so the most popular size in the nubs is the 460. This is a 354 Connecticut, which we make Connecticut's in several different sizes. But again, the 460 is the most popular, the one I prefer. And again, that'll last you an hour. It's a solid
And I'm
cigar. I'll
surprised to
show
hear
you
that
why.
because that's a reason I never buy a nub, because I always think it's going to be a quick smoke.
No.
And
You
I
can
want
see-
it
look
to
at,
be a
look at all the
longer smoke.
tobacco in there. I mean,
Wow.
Yeah, beautiful.
There you go.
That's a
so
lot.
and you can kind of see, if you really look at the front of the cigar, you can kind of see what we were talking about with the tubular formations in there, and you can you look, you can see it's barely visible, but there are some pockets in there, and that'll keep the air flowing and circulating the burn going correctly. So again, let's crack the cap off here.
And that's what makes that perfect draw.
Yes.
Folks, if you have anything that you want to ask while Brian is doing this,
I'm wrecking this
please
together.
feel free. Frank will put it on, and we'll try to get that answered from you. So enjoy. I mean, as I could read a few people already, like Bruce, this is very, very educational. He's learning a lot so far.
Or like our friend in Australia, destroying these cigars is hurting his heart.
That's especially the Australian dollar.
But if you send us $10, we'll send you all the scraps at the end of the show.
We're doing a fundraiser for Great Lake Smoke Show. We're taking all of the tobacco and selling it.
All the
Chooch winner gets all the wrappings.
And the Chooch gets all the wrappings.
Listen, folks, for 25 cents a day, you too can support and save a cigar.
Get my correct address.
And just to let you guys know, we have a spectacular gift that Brian brought from Oliva, which we'll show shortly. So stick around for Stump the Chooch.
So this one will go quick. You'll see. Yeah, nice Connecticut wrapper. What makes a Nicaraguan fuller and binder different Connecticut than typical Dominicans or lighter tobacco? Right under the wrapper.
Yeah, big difference.
Big difference there. So you're getting rich tobacco with the Connecticut wrapper, which is a delicious wrapper. And look at, again,
It's a nice leaf.
pretty leaf there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Stretches still a little, when these come out and are ready to, just getting ready to roll before they're aged, you'd be shocked at the elasticity in them. I hate to keep going back to that, but it's
No, but
really
that's a fact.
interesting.
That's
So here you go. So here's some imperfections on this. There's a sunspot there. This is your binder. Again, some rigidness to it. But watch, I think you'll be surprised at the amount of tobacco that comes out of here.
Oh, I know there's got to be a lot in there because I've smoked these before.
And this again is the 354. So even look at this.
Look at that.
Look at
Oh,
the difference.
my.
I don't know if they can see it on this camera,
Yeah,
but
I don't know if the color's showing up,
but
you can.
here in the studio,
It's nice and dark and rich.
Yeah,
There's
there
a
you go.
contrast. You can see a
There
little.
you go.
So
Yeah, you see a little
that's
bit
some
there.
nice Nicaraguan tobacco in there.
Yeah, right there. You see that
So see here,
brown, that
even
dark
on the nub,
brown.
even on the nub, the binder's divided into two, as you can see.
Mhm.
So you have two. Now, Brian, do they use different binders to create a different flavor as well? So if you're wrapping it with a couple of different binders, that also creates a different smoke.
This is true. Frank, I don't know 100% if they do use different binders. That's
That might be my copyrighted idea, so don't steal
that
it.
is, yeah.
You and 26
But you
people
can
around the
tell
world
here,
right
if you
now.
look at this, it's the same leaf coming
Those
out.
two are the same leaf, yes.
Mhm.
But again,
Yeah.
you can see there's more graininess in here.
Right.
there's a little bit more oil in that leaf too.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
see
this is,
that.
well,
Notice that?
definitely more oil than the
Absolutely.
Connecticut wrapper for sure. And that's typically when you go to a Habano, you'll see more oils and nutrients build up in there. And then when you go to Maduro, it's definitely prevalent. You'll see more.
Oh yeah, it's like somebody squirts it with a little 3-in-1.
So here we go. Yeah. So we're breaking this open.
There you go.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Some nice
looks
long
beautiful.
filler.
Wow.
Look at all that.
Holy cow.
Look at all
That
that.
little nub had that much in there. Look at
That's
that.
a lot of leaf in that smoke.
I would venture to say there's probably at least 6 leaves in that little nub, maybe.
I'd say north of that. If you
North
look,
of that?
here, look.
At least
Yeah.
8.
That's
So
a
we
lot.
got
Go ahead. I mean,
That's a lot.
So we got
We are examining
1,
the inner leaf there.
2, 3, 4, and then we're still. I mean, we're at 4 leaves already, and there's still half of the cigar already
Right.
still in there. So
so that's what I mean. It always surprised me. Yeah. See, I'm still going here. So
yeah, look at that. Ugh.
But so a lot of questions sometimes is what's long filler and what's short filler. Okay, so this is long filler. Now you can see it's not a full leaf with the point and all the way down,
Mhm.
but it is long filler. The reason this If you opened a cigar and you saw,
No.
What looks like almost crumbs.
well, it's floor sweepings pretty much. Is
Floor
what it is,
sweepings, okay.
You know, stuff like that. I don't know if you can see that
Yep, yep.
Uh-huh.
right there. You open a cigar and it's not going to come out just look like that, but it's going to be bunched up, sandwiched tighter.
Wow. Wow.
That's short filling.
Wow, that's a nice smell.
Little pinch of
Isn't it?
cocoa. You think
Yeah.
so?
Yeah,
Folks, we
smell
are
that?
smelling off
Yeah.
air, so don't mind us.
So-
yeah, we're having smell-o-vision here.
and
And
we can do that with this.
We
too.
are
We can light
students
this
of
one
the,
But it just shows you how each leaf has a different aroma.
Mm.
in color,
See,
color
this-
contrast.
This one here is like a little more woodsy versus that. Like those ones smell. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but each one has its own aroma.
But
and
this
it's
is-
amazing how
This is
all
the
coming
complexity.
together.
Yeah, the complexity of the cigars. This is where they come from.
And again, it goes back to what Brian said earlier. These guys who are just master blender,
Yeah.
Mhm.
who can put these leaves, they know what the leaf is
So-
going to be, and put it together to create an incredible smoke.
Yeah.
So we're burning off the binder.
Yeah.
here.
Amazing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We are blowing the
Isn't
minds
that
away
Woody?
of
I
our
mean-
studio audience here, folks. Besides ourselves,
Yeah,
this is amazing.
It's this
But
camera.
do not try this at home. We are professionals, right? So
You
Yes,
are
yes.
professional.
Do not do this at home.
Or buy a lot of cigars and do them. Yes.
But I mean, this is just amazing. I mean, I love the deconstructions. I mean,
I'm fascinated by it
I
all
love
the
it.
time.
here's a
It's just-
con-
Now look at the
comparison.
difference. Yeah.
oh,
So here's the nub,
so
354,
nub's a little bit lighter in color.
and here is the 660.
Yeah, and then that is definitely a darker.
Much darker.
Yes.
And it's got a
Brown
reddish
to it.
hue to it. It's a
So
Habano
much
wrapper.
richer
Yeah.
in that brown tone.
Unbelievable. Look at this.
It is amazing.
And I mean, just the wrapper itself, put it to that. Look
Sure.
at that,
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah, it's like
What a difference.
But
Different
yeah,
contrast. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's that Habano versus the Connecticut there. So
incredible.
that's the
Wow.
type of darkness that you're getting with the Habanos.
Ask away, folks. If you got questions, ask away. This is the time to do it. I know everybody's in awe because we are here also taking all this in.
It's true. No matter how
it
many
is
times I see it,
unbelievable.
I'm always fascinated by it.
it's amazing what goes into
It
that
really is.
cigar.
Mhm.
I mean,
And a lot of people smoke cigars. They have no idea. This is probably the first time most people have ever even done this and understood what's going on, Brian. I mean, this is
And it's
really
it's
an
good. I mean,
education.
an
Well, the first
educated
time I've done
consumer
it,
is the best.
It's just
It really
that thing.
is.
It's just that thing. Nobody at home wants to destroy a $10, $12, $15 stick that they just bought.
No.
right.
Well, that's something else that you
We
got
destroy
going
them
on.
one at a time. We
Yeah.
just want to real nice and slow.
By smoking them.
So we're gonna go with a
Smoke 'em
different
if you got
wrapper
'em.
once again. Here we're gonna go with the Series G, which
That's
is
another good one. I like the Series G.
it's a Cameroon. Thanks.
Yeah, that's what I just smoked, Brian. Awesome.
Very
I like it a lot.
And it's different. It's a true. It's a square box press. Which to some people it's like, oh, I don't like box press cigars, and you know what? This cigar
I
is
love
a
box
fantastic.
press.
I don't mind
I think
box
they're
I
press.
love 'em.
I think they're well done. I think it's obviously you need a seasoned roller to make this cigar.
Yeah.
I think this cigar is fantastic. If you want something medium bodied with a ton of taste, this has real Cameroon wrapper on it. It's like Frank just said, it's very smooth.
Well, I've had one, and I have a couple actually, and they are fantastic.
And the
Brian.
Maduro in here is
Yeah.
very
and I'm not sending smoke up your butt. I'm serious. This is
Yeah,
amazing.
no, it's a great smoke. And what's nice is there's definitely a progression from the tip of the cigar as I'm getting close to, the nub side. There's totally a progression in flavor too. So it's not like
What are you
smoke the stick.
What are you getting? What kind of notes are you getting there,
Well,
Frank? From beginning
I
to
get-
where you are.
I mean, up at the front end, it had a little spice to it, peppery, more peppery. Then it mellowed out, and it had more of a woodsy, and I'm going to say a little hint of kind of like leathery cocoa. It was excellent.
Nice and complex.
It is a complex cigar. It
Yeah.
really is, and it's complex without being overwhelming.
Right.
It's really smooth. You pick up different. I'm never going to pretend to be one of those guys that say, "Oh, I can taste cherry," because I can't. I know if I like it or not. I can taste pepper, obviously, but
Right.
I know if I like it. I can pick up something. I can't put my finger on it. But with the Cameroon wrapper, it's a unique wrapper. It's not grown a ton. There's not a lot of availability for it, so it's not used a lot, and it's an expensive wrapper.
Right.
So for the price point of that cigar, you're looking at it
Now, expensive because it's a difficult plant to deal with.
I think it's expensive, Bob. I remember Ishmael from BAMF Cigar told us that basically the African Cameroon, in order to get it sent to you, they send it via the entire plant.
The entire plant, yeah.
They don't just send you, a leaf. They send you the whole plant. So you pay for the entire plant, and then you break it down.
So this will be
now. Here's a good comparison. So you see the ring gauge between the Cane Habano and the Oliva G series,
right? You can see the squareness in that. The roundness of
So that squareness is what we're talking on the box pressing.
This has a smaller cap on it. Pop right off.
We hear your crickets back there, Frank.
We're putting Brian's.
Yeah, I have my crickets out here.
It's better than the dogs.
Wrapper here. There we go.
Yeah, definitely better than the dogs.
And the train.
And the train. Yeah. I have quite the built-in sound effects.
Now, in order to get this segment going, I understand you unraveled 300 cigars last week.
350. Yeah. We're gonna have a fire at my house.
Will be available for a low price of $15. Mail a check right now.
Again, folks,
I haven't tried it.
For 25 cents a day, you can save a cigar.
There you go.
There you go. Look at the color of that.
Oh yeah.
So
look at that.
let's get.
What's that compared to
on the other
let's get the
Sarah
Cameroon.
McLachlan song? In the eyes of the stranger.
Yeah, look, that's the Cameroon.
Oh yeah.
And there's your Connecticut.
Right.
There's your Habano.
And then the Habano's got a much redder finish.
Yep.
And then it looks like the Cameroon has a greenish hue to it.
Yeah, it definitely has.
It does.
Yep.
And then this, caramel looking there. So
Right.
and then this again, the Cameroon too is a delicate wrapper.
Silky.
Oh, and you
Very
can see the
silky.
oil shine
Right?
right on it. Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that there.
Yeah, I don't know if the camera picks that up that well, but you can see the shimmer from the oils
It has,
in the leaf.
like silk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the
I
difference.
think I'm going to make a suit out of that.
So there's the difference.
Cameroon suit.
The Cameroon, the inside of the wrapper and the outside.
Look away, Jerry.
Look at
I'm
the difference in
hideous.
color there.
That is
okay.
amazing.
Yeah.
There's the inside. and
Oh,
then
yeah.
There's the exterior.
Wow.
But you can see how the leaf was cut. They
Uh-huh.
stem it. They cut that out.
And then they you can actually see the little curve too.
Yep, where they curve
Yeah.
it and wrap it. Right. The Cubiera. They use it,
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
yeah,
There we
Very
go.
good.
No, that's a shirt.
That's the Huibera.
Why? Right. So let's pop this open here.
Yeah. So
Folks, put on any
Brian's just kind of
questions?
smashing it together
Yeah,
to kind of
just-
break it up a little bit.
Yeah, just softening it up, rolling it, trying to make it a circle here, actually. And then we'll be able to. Now you feel the inside loosening up a
Popped it?
little.
Yeah, I see you squeezing pretty good there
Okay.
now.
Yeah, I mean this is constructed well.
Just don't want to
How long
squeeze
that
it too
cigar
hard.
lasted you, Frank? A while, right?
It lasted me, let's
We're on
see,
3
about 45 minutes.
right before the show.
And that's long for Frank.
That's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The
Those
vacuum
vitamins are
slowed
paying
down.
off, Frank. It's good.
Yeah, because Frank is our vacuum. Oh, he's got it down to
Yeah.
the pinky there.
And listen, it's not even burning hot at this level.
Wow.
That's
amazing.
impressive.
You need the
Okay.
clip now to
Yeah,
hold
he's
that.
down to roach levels.
Call Barry, get that roach clip.
Yeah.
Bob has it in one of his boxes.
Yes, I do.
So here you should be able to get a good look at
Oh yeah. There it is. Oh, look at that.
that color.
Oh, beautiful.
Wow.
Look at that.
There's your
Oh.
binder.
Nice.
Part 1,
Part 1. I like that.
part 2 coming up.
Holy cow.
Wow. Look at this.
And then look, they
Then
flip
it goes
that
the
under.
other-
Oh, okay.
It's a flip. Yep.
that's how they get the square eye there, I believe. So, no, we'll just
That is
break this up.
amazing. Oh,
There's
look
a
at that.
ton of nice rich tobacco there.
Oh, look at that.
And here's where it got
There it
smooth
is.
down here, as Frank was talking about. Different
Uh-huh.
color
Yeah,
leaves. I don't know
yeah.
if you guys can
Yep,
see
yep.
this. I hope
Oh.
I
you
can
can.
see it, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Frank,
even
how's
on
it
camera
coming
you can
across
see it,
on
right?
the?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it pretty good. I
Okay.
can see the different colors, even inside the filler as well.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
there, you see a little different. There's like,
Oh, yeah, you
might
see
be a
the little
touch of
reddish
the
in it.
arrow.
Right.
Reddish. Yep.
Yeah. Look at that.
So that breaks up.
Wow, there's a lot of tobacco in there.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Yeah.
See how long it
That's
took me to
amazing.
get the
To
To
peel
get
off?
down to the center, yeah.
Hey,
Look at that.
Frank, Bruce Stark said you better get a toothpick real fast. For your
I will, Bruce. I will.
So there you go.
You know what I actually use sometimes for a cigar poker? Since I got pipes, I use my check tool with the
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the poker.
Absolutely, it works.
There you go. All right, so we'll break this, and we'll, in keeping with what we've been doing, we'll light this up and see how this smells. I'm sure you'll get a little woodiness out of this as well.
Get ready there for a pipe, guys.
Oh,
Jeff
yeah.
and Tim. Jeff and Tim.
Here comes your incense.
Hey, smokers over there, take a look.
Our studio audience is not
Studio
paying
audience,
attention.
come and smell. Here's Tim. Come and smell, Tim. You're up.
Yeah.
See what you get out of that.
Oh, that's just a strong, almost a Virginian, little sweet. Thanks, Bob, for contaminating my smell with that. That
Yeah, there is a sweetness to the cigar too. There does have a sweetness to it.
in a pipe.
Mm-hmm.
It really is just coming off as a really unrestrained tobacco flavor.
An unrestrained tobacco flavor.
You said like a Virginian, like a grassiness you're getting, or burley.
It's more like a burley. Okay, like I'm getting when I mean a straight tobacco note. Cigars are very complex, and everybody picks up the pepper in
Most
a
of the
cigar.
time, yes.
Well, yeah, that's
This-
most outstanding.
Everybody, this is like, because we're dissecting the cigar, I'm picking up at least 7 different notes here.
Mm.
As we go through each part of the leaf, some are a little bit spicy. Okay, spicy, maybe a little pepper. This is like just straight tobacco. It almost reminds me of, I don't mean to insult anybody here,
And like what's
the old-fashioned Dunhill cigarettes.
And what's
Oh, yeah,
amazing,
okay.
if you look
clean
at the leaves that he
tobacco
unraveled there,
flavor.
they're holding
It's
that
beautiful.
box
This
position.
is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
Those
right.
leaves hold
Yeah.
that box position.
come
Yeah,
back.
look at that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And right now, my eyes are watering with both tears and because it's fucking smoky as all hell.
Well,
Ron has to get one of those smoke machines.
As soon as we get that fantastic
Studio.
studio,
New studio, yes.
we'll get that rolling.
Yeah, the new studio brought to you by to be announced soon.
but look,
Yes,
look
Mike.
how that burnt.
Yeah.
Oliva does not skimp on tobacco, Mike.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yeah, you can see there's plenty of filler and filler in there. The binders are nice leaves, as we saw.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
Beautiful.
some of those could be
Can I
used
see how
as
the
wrappers.
wrapper itself will burn? If you don't
Yeah,
No,
sure.
that wasn't the wrapper.
That's
Yes.
the
Yeah,
Connecticut.
That's the
That's-
Connecticut wrapper.
Yeah, so here's the
I don't know what
Connecticut
happened to
wrapper.
the. Oh, there
Okay.
we go.
You want to just, and again, like I said, in the fields, they'll just hold that leaf up to the lit cigar and make sure that the circle is
whole
perfect so it burns right. So, all right, let's see. It'll go quick on this.
Sure will. Wow. Look how fast that went up.
So, and Kyle brought that up before.
Oh, yeah.
Different leaves.
Yeah.
See, that's a wrapper again. So the wrapper and binders move pretty quick,
They
Mhm.
sure
as
do.
we saw. So,
Yeah, like it's only a couple seconds, and then that wrapper is gone. And that
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow.
Again, that's why we have people who really know how to roll.
it's
Just to
it's
put
a,
this stuff together and create the flavors and the notes that we get out of these cigars.
I mean, when
This is
you're-
not a
you're
joke.
so
I
right.
mean, you got to know what you're doing.
I don't want to interrupt, but I think we should take a little moment for a break from our sponsors. What do you think, Ron?
sounds
It's a
great.
good
We'll have
thing,
a
absolutely.
All right.
different
This way, perfect. We're going to our sponsors, folks.
there you go.
Cigar Prop started off as one item, a simple cigar rest born out of necessity. Over the years, Cigar Prop has morphed into something greater. Cigar Prop is now a brand, a journey, a way of life. It has become known as prop style. That simple cigar rest has turned into a whole line of cigar accessories, apparel, and even a weekly live show called the I Tap That Cigar Show. So remember, make sure you give your cigars the props they deserve, but more importantly, remember to live prop style. Johnny D. Teas out of Lakeville, Illinois are a veteran-owned company that take great pride in their work. Their goal is not to fulfill one order, but to earn all future orders by offering the best products at unbeatable prices. Ask any of their repeat customers and they'll tell you their quality is always the highest and their prices are always the lowest. Shop any Veterans Collection and 25% of the proceeds will be donated back to the veterans of foreign wars or the American Legion.
This is Phil Morgan, General Manager of Missouri Meerschaum Corncob Pipes in Washington, Missouri. Our mission since 1869 has been to produce great smoking pipes that anyone can afford. We guarantee our pipes won't be your most expensive, but they just might be the ones you smoke the most. At Missouri Meerschaum Company, we don't just sell our corncob pipes, we grow them, make them, and smoke them. Missouri Meerschaum, Washington, Missouri, since 1869.
Specializing in tobacco pipe refurbishment and sales, Briar 911 buys and sells all kinds of pipes from a single pipe to entire collections. Our services include stem repair, replacement, deoxidation, and sanitization, reaming, cleaning, and bowl sanitizing, shank crack repair, buffing, and waxing. We make sure that each pipe is ready to smoke once it leaves our shop. For more info, contact us via Facebook at Briar 911.
All right, we're back.
We're back.
And we're back.
Thank you to all the sponsors. We appreciate everything, and you too can become a one of the sponsors that we're looking for. We're always looking for new companies or any ideas or any kind of business that you want. Join us. Give us a call. Get us an email or Facebook us, PM us, and we can get you also on our show. Always looking for more people. Thank you. All righty. So we get back to the show here.
All right.
The next segment now is the wet segment, I guess.
This is where we scooped up some sewer water, and we're going to tomorrow. Yeah.
Caddyshack, right, where they pull that out. So this is a different way of dissecting a cigar, and it should prove interesting. It's I soaked this cigar. I started soaking yesterday afternoon about 3 o'clock, and it's just regular water, but you can see the nicotine coming out of there.
Yeah, look at that.
Yep. Like a nice bourbon. So you got to be careful or not to smell. So then it's easier to unravel this way for sure. So I brought my own toothpicks, which I'm at the Pecorini house. I should have known they'd have toothpicks. This is like a wardrobe accessory in New York, right? You get the wife beater on, you put the toothpick in, you're good to go.
Okay, I like it. He learned well.
But you got to do it in a t-shirt.
So look at here. You got to have the wife beater. So here you get the cap right off there, and it'll give you a good look at that.
We have Dwayne Schaefer saying, I had the pleasure of meeting Brian at Bad Ash Cigars in Oregon.
Oh, there you go.
Good old Dwayne. So there, you get that off right away.
Look at that.
And this is,
I hate to say it, but it looks like a floater.
I think that was on Caddyshack.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I said.
It's stickers.
So there you go. You see how that leaf is nicely formed. This is, because when you're dissecting the cigars, those are actually pretty well humidified, the ones we took apart, I think.
Yeah.
But sometimes if they're dry, you'll get a lot of cracking. But these worked out okay so far. So let's see. We'll go to this. Get the binder on here. You got to find the right spots.
Yeah, and we're doing this.
This is like opening up a tape that's stuck together.
Or this is like when I was like 6 years old on Christmas, trying to rip open the Christmas present, trying to get to the insides.
Yeah, I always tried to save the paper. I was very delicate in opening up.
You were so green.
Not me. Not me. I just tear it open as much as I could.
Even in this form. You can see that the binder
Oh yeah.
has a little more rigidness to it, kind of a rougher texture.
And you can see that that tobacco is redder. It has
Yep.
a redder.
Definitely.
Now watch this. This has been soaking since yesterday afternoon. It's still dry in some parts.
In the very, very middle,
Is that crazy?
still has not
Wow.
got water to it.
What protection?
That is great.
So this is a cane Maduro nub.
Mm.
Isn't
Yeah.
that wild? How look at that.
Amazing.
Look at
But-
that.
As you crack that open, you can see
Oh yeah.
there's some nice Maduro.
There's
There's some good
dark,
Liero leaf.
dark in there. Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
That's the top of the plant Liero that's been aged 6 years at least. We were talking about that off air. We were talking about how that Cameroon box press held the shape after we unraveled it, and the wrapper itself just kind of flipped back into a square.
hmm
So I was explaining to Bob that what we do is after you've aged in the tobacco, you pick the tobacco, and then they color sort the tobacco. They'll go in the fields and they'll mark every leaf that they pull with a color. And so you might have a red, a blue, and an orange. So when I'm finally at the rolling table and the selector comes up and he gives me a pile of, it's a blue wrapper. It's got the blue wrapper on it, that color coded blue, an orange filler, different color binder. They know what that blend is. The rollers don't necessarily know what that blend is, and I sure don't know what that blend is. But it's a proprietary thing, which they, every cigar company keeps that close to the vest, right?
Sure.
So, but to get to that point, they color code the tobacco, then they cure it in a curing barn, which is controlled, crazy controlled. They use it's a graded floor, and sometimes they'll wet the floor to bring more moisture in.
Okay.
Other times they'll actually have controlled fires in the curing barn to bring the moisture level down. If it's too humid, too much moisture, that's bad for the tobacco. It'll wilt it too much. It won't cure properly.
Now, is it true in the curing barns? A lot of times, you'll get a very ammonia,
Oh, yeah.
like scent in the air, like heavy ammonia in the air.
Yeah, and that's so much in the curing barns, but when you go to the fermentation part of it,
Fermentation, yeah.
that's when you're getting the ammonia smell. And if you do it right, it's not going to be overwhelming, and you have. So this is one of the coolest things that I've ever seen. They build these pilones, they're called, and it's a pile of tobacco leaves, and it's I've seen it. They're 4 feet high, about 3 to 4 feet high, about 6 feet in length, and they're oval, and they're like, it looks like somebody. These guys are so talented. It looks like they were manufactured like that. It's not hand done. But what you do is you watch the heat in there. So you have a PVC tube that goes in the middle, and you take the temperature daily and you record it. And at a certain point, when the heat's right, they flip those pilones from top to bottom and inside to out.
Oh, wow.
So the tobacco doesn't over fermentate and it doesn't burn.
Okay.
They water it down again, and it's a huge process. Then after the tobacco is ready, it's fermented, they will put it into a bale and they will press it down so the leaves are compressed, and then they'll put it into an aging room.
Okay.
Once the tobacco is aged, then comes the production. And once it's produced, it goes into like a wheel of cigars usually, and then they put that in for additional aging. So Bob was saying, we were talking about how that Cameroon kept the box press. Well, these things have been sitting, the tobacco's aged 6 years already, and then it's pressed and sit and aged for another few years before it hits the shelf. So it's really the form's there, but that form is also why they smoke so nicely too. And to your earlier point, that's why you rotate your cigars in your humidor if you're not smoking through them a lot, because you won't have them, you'll have flat bottoms, and you don't want that.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
but this is just a different way to do it. I think this is a pretty simple way to dissect the cigar. It definitely came apart easier, but I think the takeaway from that is there's so much tobacco.
Still
And again,
dry.
cane nub,
Yeah.
quick smoke, they say.
Not a quick. No, it's not a quick smoke.
But look at that. You could light that.
Yeah, and then we have
That will ignite right now.
This would.
Alan
Dry part, yeah.
Alan Carlson on the Facebook Live there says, put a pinch of that between your cheek and gum.
Yeah. Could you do that? It'll be like chew, like
Where-
skull.
Yeah, look at that. But isn't that crazy how
That
that?
is amazing.
Yeah, look at that.
Awesome. That is
Again, that's
awesome.
got to be what 8 to 10 different leaves in there.
Oh yeah,
At
well,
least. I mean,
maybe
at
you can tell
least.
by the colors, and again, that's your long filler.
Mhm.
You know, and on the nub, it's
Look at that. Yeah, yeah. There's 2 leaves right there.
mm-hmm.
You know what I think would be interesting is taking a short filler cigar and dissecting it. I think that's what we're going to do on one of the shows too. Is taking something that is short filler and seeing the difference. You know.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a ribeye right there.
Oh yeah, right.
I think that's a good idea. I think it's a great idea to do that comparison.
Yeah.
And show that, you know, a premium cigar should have long filler in it. You know, I mean,
Right.
you're paying, again, it's a luxury item. You're paying for it. You want to smoke like this. You know, this cigar, again,
Yeah.
look at the burn. And again, I can't overemphasize that. Lighting the cigar correctly, I mean, you're spending good money for this and you want to enjoy it right. We've all had cigars that aren't burning right.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It's not
Oh, yeah.
enjoyable.
Oh,
It's
no.
like
No.
it takes you out of the moment,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just not. It's not what you're paying for. So,
I've had cigars where I actually just put it out after a while because I've
which is
lit
horrible, right?
so many times. It's like this is not even enjoyable. Just put it out,
Or-
throw it away, and that's it.
Or you've had a bad cigar that the taste profile is just not there. It's just an immediate, no, I'm done with this. And we've had a couple of those.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
well, that's
Yeah.
just it. I mean, I honestly, and not because Brian is here, folks, but I have yet to have a bad Oliva cigar. I've never
That's
had
No,
that.
Oliva's
True.
haven't really disappointed ever.
Well,
They're
the-
fabulous.
you know, their odds are good because they take the measures, they do the draw testing, they, you know, their quality controls obviously spot on. They're a vertical company too, so that helps. When you're controlling your tobacco, you're controlling your consistency of your cigar, and that's what we want. We don't want to buy. I don't want to go buy this cigar in 2 weeks and say, "Oh man, I really enjoyed that," and then smoke it and say, "It's not the same cigar." But,
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Consistency
Yeah.
is so important.
it is.
And that's how you get the repeat customer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what they
Yeah.
want. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
you buy it by the
you
box.
now-
You want everything in that box to taste exactly the same.
Well,
Absolutely.
And that's what you're expecting.
Yeah, you wanted to come back to that cigar a year later and be like, I
That's
remember
the
what this
taste.
cigar
That's the
had
taste.
smoked like, what it tasted like. I'm gonna have that again. I
Mhm.
know what I'm expecting, and then that's why you're gonna
And
keep getting those cigar sales.
I think it's safe to say we've all done that and gone back to a cigar, and it's
Mhm.
not the same.
Yes.
And it's highly
Yep.
disappointing. I mean,
Yeah.
I know in the 90s in the cigar boom, there was a couple that were quality brands, but they were mass producing them. And that, again, going back to the agriculture and to the aging, aging's so critical to a good
It's
cigar.
everything.
It is everything.
we call
it's
those
like,
white owls.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Dutch master too.
The masters of Dutch Master or Phillips.
You know, it's like anything else. Everything is a matter of patience. And
Yes.
you have to let something age properly. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
I mean, look at that photo right there. I mean, it does look like you have a steak right on your plate.
Right.
There.
Yeah.
Oh, go back to what we were talking about earlier with the ammonia taste. I've actually had cigars that had that.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
like, wow,
Me
what
too.
the hell? What did they age this for like a week?
well, that's
You
the
know.
fermentation right there.
Yeah.
Right.
We have a
Yeah,
question
Jim,
in the audience.
scream away in the audience over there. Okay, grab that headset. You can do it, buddy. You can do it.
So, Brian, question for you: is this something you guys like learned from, you know, when you get into being a distributor or a representative? Where do they teach you this method? Just because I'm sitting here watching what you're doing, you know, and I'm the kind of person that would buy a $20 stick and dissect it
Because you're curious, right?
because I'm bored. You know, but I'm just curious, like, where did you learn this process? Just so that other people might, you know.
All right. Well,
You
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I practiced it last week for the first time.
It was a buzzkill right there, folks.
But let me stop. I've seen them made,
Okay,
so
right.
that helps a ton because you know what to expect. You know, what Frank said, you absolutely. I wish I had a short filler cigar. You absolutely have to do that to see the difference. You know, we can leave some of this in a bag, you know, and show the difference because it's night and day. When I kiddingly said it's floor sweepings, but it's not far removed from that. It's discarded long filler. Does that mean it's a bad cigar? Not necessarily, but you're not going to get a burn like this.
It's not the quality.
You're not going to get the quality. You're not going to get a chisel on the ash once you ash it. You're not, you know how you have a paint.
Yeah.
You're not going to have that. And honestly, so I honestly did this a couple times at home, and I just tried it, and
yeah, and that's a total buzzkill. I mean, here I am thinking this guy's a cigar doctor.
Well, he didn't go to cigar. He didn't go to Cigar Surgery 101.
Well, that's
I don't think they offer that.
Hey, Frank, that's what I was
possible.
thinking.
I'm not sure.
We're gonna try one right now. We got a
I just got
short
censored.
cigar.
This is
That's
a competitor. We're not going to
This is
say
a
the
competitor,
name.
Right.
We won't say
But
the
it's
name.
got a short filler. Let's see how that goes.
Let's see if this is. No, we don't know. So we don't know if this is. We don't know if this is long filler or short filler.
That's okay. We can go with that.
There's your cap.
Kyle, switch that camera over.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't fall asleep on me. You're doing good.
I got headphones. I got cameras moving. I got a lot going on here today. I haven't had to do work in like a month because it's like an old, you know, it's like riding a bicycle. I got to get back on it. You know.
You got to get back on.
You got it, bro. So you said, I want patience and I want it now.
All right. So there's
Here
your
we
wrapper.
Okay.
So you can tell here this wrapper's got some defections in it. There's a little hole.
Mm-hmm.
A little more stemmy than the others.
Mm-hmm.
You guys see?
It almost sound, and I don't know if your audience is picking up on it, but it almost sounds less elasticity. It sounds
you
more
can
crunchy.
actually hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hear it.
So yeah,
it's
definitely not as oily as like the Olivas.
much drier.
Mhm.
Feel that.
Oh yeah, complete. A little
Drier than this
dryness,
one for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's
I mean, it's
see.
still got a little elasticity pull to it, but I
But
wouldn't
if
push
you
it
move
too
it in your
much.
fingers, you can hear
Yeah.
it. The
Oh, it's
crunchy sound.
it almost feels
like
chalky.
like leaves.
Yeah.
drying
Here,
in,
that's-
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
I don't know if
pile
you
in
guys can see
autumn,
that.
you know?
Yep.
Okay.
Right. The construction's definitely different here.
Oh, a lot different. It
So-
looks. Oh my God. So this
Pull it apart.
that binder was a single leaf binder
Yeah.
holding this together. So that's the first difference.
Very, very.
Yeah.
Here,
It's
let's
just pieces. It's just pieces of leaf.
Hey, Frank, were called a slave driver.
Yeah.
Just to let you know. Yeah,
All right, so there's a-
Yes. Thank you, Bruce, for the. I take that as an honor.
the difference in those two binders are pretty
Mhm.
dramatic.
Oh yeah.
So, still opening it up.
Feel how
You
dry
can see
that
already.
feels.
See-
Yeah, but look, you could see it's much shorter.
Well,
There isn't a lot of long filler in there.
ready?
It's almost got a more dirt.
It looks sand. It looks segmented, much
That-
more segmented.
Yeah,
that
definitely
is a short fill.
definitely drier.
Yeah, that's short. Look at all of that.
Oh yeah.
Now look at this. This is just
Yeah.
pieces of leaf.
So
That's the
that's
filler. This
That's
is
long, right.
from the 660,
yeah.
and this
And then
is. See,
Yeah. So that's your difference. folks.
Scraps.
From
They call that scraps.
the premium blend versus the non-premium blends, as we will
you know,
say.
I was joking, but
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on in there.
That's a cigar.
that's floor sweep. You want to put? You can put this in the bowl and smoke it. But yeah, see, I mean, even feel you can feel that, Bob. It's like
Oh yes. Totally different.
it doesn't
Totally
feel like it was aged properly, Ronnie. I don't.
No.
Okay,
I don't know
All
if you can
good.
feel that.
He's not talking now.
Where is it?
Big difference.
No.
dude, I'm gonna. Dude, you better hope this mic's up. So, Brian, can I butt in again?
Yes, sir.
I'm the voice from off stage, folks. So I'm just curious. You were just
Or
talking
dirt.
about the even burn.
That smells like
Because
soil.
I when I do smoke a cigar, most of these guys know I like big smoke.
Mhm.
I want that big flavor. I want to be able to pick up all the different notes. But even with some of the more well-known, not going to name any names, well-known brands, some of the best sellers in the world, I get that uneven burn. Is that the leaf? Is it me? What is it? Why do I get that little shard that sticks out, and it really ruins what could be a great smoke?
Well, there's a couple things that could really contribute to that, and one is what we mentioned earlier on lighting it properly, taking the time to meld the binder and wrapper together so it burns evenly. Construction could be a part of it. I know one of the cigars that you mentioned you like, and I don't think it's construction on that. It could just be the lighting on it.
Okay.
And we're all guilty of it. I've done it 100 times. I grab the
Even
lighter,
the
just
way
fire it
it's-
up real
even
quick,
the
and I
way
look
it's
at it
kept.
like,
That's
that's another.
because it's in a fancy store doesn't mean that
Well,
their humidity is proper.
Give
and
you an example.
they're not rotating the stock right.
As I told you before, I'm a big fan of Punch Habanos.
Mhm.
So Cuban cigars, brand Punch, just because really good experiences with them, just consistent smoke, really full flavor. Anyway, but what I've noticed with other Cubans, and no offense, my friends of the Nicaraguan lines, sometimes they're too tight of a draw. And I always get that shard, and it really turned me off the cigars for a long time.
Well, I got to agree with you on that. I've had numerous cigars that are Cubans that are very sought after cigars, without naming names. And I've yet to have one that I haven't had to light like 6 times going through
Right.
it. And that's because of the draw, because of the construction. I don't think it's because of the way it was kept, because it's kept with the same cigars
but
I
I'll
have.
tell you this, Tim. If you're having problems with draw, I'm going to throw a shout out to our sponsor here, Cigar Medics. They actually make a draw poker that will be available. So if you're having problems with the draw tightness on it, it's an actual like
like
rod
a
that goes
reamer.
through,
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that'll help you pull that cigar and not feel like you got
The
juiced
old
out of your-
cornholio.
So, shout
Yeah.
out to our sponsor, Cigar Medics.
I will look into, because
They have some cool things.
Yeah.
because back in the day, although I am a resident delicate flower, when I was younger, before I had kids, I spent a lot more money on tobacco.
Mhm.
Fine cigarettes. When I mean fine cigarettes, folks, I mean real cigarettes, not mass-produced American cigarettes, and good cigars. It was a little bit easier when I was younger to get Cubans. But this is pre 9/11, but you have kids, money gets tight, you got to sacrifice. So I got out of it, but it's really interesting because going through this process, folks, as Brian's unraveling, burning, it reminds me of those good times with some really great cigars where I could really pick up those flavors. Because now my palate's not as good as it once was. So I appreciate this because, I'm going to pick up some Olivas to bring with me to the great state of California and donate to some friends, because I know they're not smoking good sticks, and I know they're paying big bucks for them too. I was at Kenny the King. Shout out to Kenny. I was at his shop today. Has a good line of Olivas, so I'm really pumped that I can pick these up at Arlington. Got a good neighbor, really good friend, and he likes his cigars. So I'm really pumped. I'm going to turn him on to the Olivas. We'll see what he thinks, because we'll have a good smoke this summer. I'm props to my brothers here. Everybody go out there, buy Oliva. Okay.
There you go.
Thanks, Tim.
Here's a question from Bruce. How do they bunch a short filler cigar? A machine? That's a good question. How do they do that?
Question. I honestly, I don't know. I've never seen I've seen a cigarillo made, and that's,
Machine made.
It's machine made, but you can get cigarillos that have good tobacco in it, but it is going to be this tobacco. I mean, it's going to be a short filler. That's machine made. I would not want to be the roller that had to bunch that. I'll tell you that right now. So I don't know how they do that, but I've never seen one made. But I will say, what Tim said, I think one of my favorite parts was when we did burn a couple of the binders and get that smell.
Yeah.
And then burn the wrapper by itself and see how quick it goes, because it just goes to show you all the mechanics behind it. It's unbelievable when you really sit and think about it. You know, from seed selection to the growing, to picking, to curing, fermentating, picking out the right use to go in the box, so you're not surprised when you open that box that you bought.
Yeah.
It's a process that's really, you take your time and light it right, because you should be enjoying these all the time.
Absolutely.
It's a celebratory thing, pretty much.
Absolutely.
We're lucky enough that we get to sit and have a couple cigars and talk about it. And this is hopefully it was helpful and educational.
That was great, Brian. Thank you. That was awesome.
First episode, you knocked the grand slam. I can tell you that.
And I didn't spill any of the nicotine water in, so that's a good thing.
Hey, you could use that. You could use that almost.
If you want to wash your hands.
Oh,
You can go out and spray it on your vegetables.
You could use that as fertilizer and add it to plants.
you could probably.
That is awesome. Oh, that was fantastic. Anyway, folks, that was Brian McQuire of Oliva Cigars. And hey, absolutely. You're really doing a fantastic show. And just to let you know, folks, next month is going to be the Karen Berger line, and Bruce Bush is going to be doing what Brian just did, and he's been watching, so he's getting himself ready. And in 2 months, July, we will have Goni Herrera from Gurkha coming on and doing their line. So that was fantastic, really, Brian. That again, Bob and I have seen this so many times, and it just simply blows us away.
It keeps me just so focused in on every step of it. It's really, I never get tired of seeing it. I really don't.
Yeah.
So coming up now, Frank, did you go through all the sponsors? Do we have any more sponsors?
Hey, we need a speaker.
No, we can't hear Frank.
Can't hear you, buddy.
Can't hear Frank.
Hear you, Frank. Frank.
He muted himself.
I muted myself on purpose because there was a dog frenzy happening.
All right. Do we have any more sponsors, or are we ready?
No, I think we're good. I think we're ready to roll. We're getting at that point. I know what we're ready for.
All right. So, folks, our next
You win a
segment-
box. There's nothing in the box.
Our next segment is a
We're gonna
prize
put all this in.
from Oliva.
We're going to put all that short filler into the box for you.
Yeah.
Stump the Chooch. And
Ooh, look at that.
Wow.
A leather. Ooh,
Three
that's
cigars.
beautiful.
cigars.
With the
Brand
Oliva brand on
Logo.
branded on there for you.
Now that's leather, not
That's
leather, right?
not that's not Corinthian
That's
leather.
the real
that's
stuff.
That's Ricardo Montalban Corinthian leather.
Big time stuff here. So
that's a new
beautiful.
product from us. That we
Is it?
just-
Yeah.
new product is
Yeah,
very
it's-
nice. I don't want to open it, so it is brand new, folks.
Mhm.
So anyway, we're going to go to our segment called Stump the Chooch. And Frank,
We know it's time to play Stump the Chooch. I love that Chooch. And he can smoke multiple things at the same time.
Oh yeah.
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 You know, it's-
And we do a pipe and a cigar and nothing else. Except for Bob.
Wait a minute. I'm not the only one here who smokes other stuff too.
And then tune in next week where Brian puts all this back together and smokes it.
Yes. That would be
Nice.
He's going to create his own line.
All right, folks. So it's time for Stump the
Chooch. Okay, and I know my studio audience there, Ron and the gang, they're gonna know these because I'm making them not easy, but maybe they won't know them. So on this date in history in 1895, that was 2 years before Bob was born.
Yes.
2
yes.
years. This playwright was found guilty of gross indecency in London and sentenced to 2 years of hard labor. Who was this playwright?
Yeah.
I know it wasn't Lenny Bruce, but
Yeah, it's a little bit before Lenny Bruce, Bob. Yeah.
1895.
1895. Come on. Somebody in the audience. Tim, you don't
Sure.
have an answer for this?
Tim is looking it up.
Oh, don't look it up. Forget about it. All right, you guys have been stumped.
Yes.
Chooches. It was Oscar Wilde. Oscar
Oh,
okay, all right.
Oscar Wilde, guys.
indecent exposure.
What do you mean you can't hear the questions? Don't worry.
From the audience, don't mind them.
Yeah. All right. In 1968.
1968.
This, it's a trademark for the city of St. Louis was erected and dedicated.
The arch.
What is it called?
This
McDonald's.
No, it's the gateway to the west.
It's called the Gateway Arch in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Great Gateway Arch, guys.
90 arches, McDonald's. All right.
It's not the Golden Arches. It's not the fast food joint, Ron. I'm sorry to say.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know. So, this date in history, another big day, 1977. 20th century, 1977. 20th Century Fox opens
Star Wars.
I love that. He's a Star Wars fan. He knows.
And then
he knows.
2 years later, it was Return of the Jedi was released.
That's right. I'll give you guys one more before we go to the.
All right. One more.
Okay. All right. On this date in history, 1935, this home run was his last at Ford Field. Finally, Ronnie got one. I told you I'd give one to Ronnie.
The Bambino, baby. Yes, absolutely.
The Bambino. Yes.
All right. So this
now,
is now for the audience.
This is for the audience, and I'm going to give them, because I'm so nice, I'm going to give them right up on the screen. On this date in history, 1967, folks. Bob, I'm muting you. This Superstar Rockers 1965 automobile gets a new paint job, and it causes quite the uproar, including car maker raising a formal complaint. Who is the rock star, and what was the vehicle? We need both here. Okay, Bob, I'm unmuting you. Do not say anything. Two-parter. Who was the rock star, and what was the vehicle, folks?
Why do you give it two-parter? Because we don't have two answers, Frank. You can't.
I have two answers. We have two answers. One person, two answers. One person, they have to get both of it right.
Oh,
John Lennon by Sabrina.
John Lennon is one part.
Whistle Dick McGillicuddy.
What is the car? Sabrina?
What is the car? You got to give us the car.
No, not Elvis Presley in a pink Cadillac.
It's
No,
John Lennon. He did something with a car that.
Barry, go do your homework.
Yeah, come on, New Yorker. Let's go.
Come on.
we already.
Yes, Sabrina gets it. It's the Rolls Royce. And here it is, folks.
Psychedelic Rolls Royce.
She won a Rolls Royce, right?
She won the Rolls Royce. You got to collect it from John, though.
There it is, John Lennon and the Rolls. Check out that psychedelic rose.
All right, Sabrina, we are going to have this personally hand-delivered to you by our very own Brian McQuire. Okay? This is for you, Sabrina, not for the store. Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you, everyone. And I really hope you have learned a lot today about the leaf itself. Brian, we can't thank you enough for coming.
Thank you,
Brian. Appreciate it.
This was awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
It was.
This was so educational. Very educational. I hope everyone took away something from the show.
And when you light up your next cigar,
appreciate.
Think about everything that's involved with making that cigar.
And how many hands basically touch it to the time a person gets
There's 3,000 steps.
3,000 steps.
It's north of that, but yeah, it's amazing. When you go from seed to box.
That is awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, with quality control checks all the way.
It's just amazing that and this is the reason why cigars are priced where they're at, because it is a process.
Mm-hmm. And it's handmade for the
What
most
this
part.
country needs a good 5-cent cigar.
Here it
is, right here.
Just
There it
scrap
is.
it up. Scrap it up off the ground there.
Anyway, folks, just a couple of reminders of things that are coming up. The biggest one will be the crew will be in Las Vegas for the PCA. Yes,
Vegas.
We're
Here we
looking-
come.
More sponsors, please. We are definitely.
Brian, you're going to be there,
I
right?
will be there.
Brian
I
will
look
be
forward
there.
to seeing you guys there.
Barry wants to know what's happening in August too.
Nice.
Easy.
God, he's
Jumping
so
the gun.
patient.
Jumping the gun.
Yes.
We won't put him in
We-
charge of fermentation.
We got to get to July 1st, and he.
Facebook photo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
So yes, and to let you know, we will be doing interviews with a lot of the vendors there. So we'll be bringing that broken up. We're not going to do it all in one show. We're going to do that.
We'll break that up and we'll just.
The
As a
historical
bonus,
event.
since we're in Vegas, if somebody's looking for a new husband, I'm free. So I'll be in Vegas already.
I heard.
Meet me.
I heard John from the Joint was looking.
Well, you could get married at the Elvis Chapel. He'll do the whole ceremony and
I'm
everything.
hoping to. I wouldn't be married by anybody less.
Kyle, we're going to leave you there.
You and Bubba can hook up.
I'm not coming home, guys. I'm not coming home.
I heard Johnny Holmes is coming back from the dead to see you. So anyway, also Barry, I think the most epic show that's going to happen, the Boutique Cigar Festival on August 14th. Again, the crew is going to be out there doing an all-day podcast for the Boutique Cigar event at Cedar Creek in Martinsville, Indiana. You got to get there. I mean,
I hope we're not on the air all day,
No,
because
we
I want to
can't be.
enjoy.
Unless somebody's going to bring some blow.
I need
keep
to
us going.
I want to enjoy the property. I want to take part of the festivities. I don't want to be on air 20 all day.
We can do 2 at a time. But we got a lot of people to interview, so
It
we'll
will
be putting on a fantastic
all-day
show.
event.
Absolutely. Also coming up then will be the show in October 1st and 2nd.
The
over
Richmond
at
show.
The
Richmond
Richmond
show.
Pipe Show. We're going to be doing Sutliff, a personal tour that's going to be happening there on a pipe tobacco line. Frank, tell us a little bit about our trip in November. Was it the Barn Smoker for
The Florida Barn Smoker? Yes, that'll be over in Claremont at Jeff from Corona's farm.
Own farm.
Right here. He actually posted something today. His tobacco just went out via container. It was picked up and it's heading to Nicaragua now, where it'll come back in at least in about 3 years or so as cigars, as a blend inside cigars. So look forward to seeing that.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Truly can't wait. Truly cannot wait.
Again, folks, we are pushing it. We're looking for more sponsors to help us get to all these events and bring you these fantastic shows. We want to thank all the sponsors that have been on board with us already. It's been exciting, and we're booked for the entire year, folks. If you're out there listening, for all you cigar owners and I guess reps, if you too would like to be on the episode of Unraveled, we do have openings for September, October, November, and December at this point. So we're looking to fill in that for you, and we're excited to bring you the new segment. From what we're gathering, I think the show has been a success.
Yes.
One is in the books. And,
Just to make sure the audience knows, this is going to be a once-a-month show.
Right.
You're going to have to catch us when we are announcing we're doing an Unraveled show. That's it for the month. We're not doing multiples in the month. So this is a once-a-month thing. So this is got to catch us when you catch us.
Catch us every Tuesday.
Perfect. All right, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Keep them smoking, and thank you for all the support.
See you
Appreciate
next
it.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Good night, everyone.
Show me what it is to live free. Perdomo Taj Mahal here. You know?
It really is.
They're stopping by. Oh, I heard about you. I smoke your cigars. I love it.
That's the short story behind how Christoph got started. It's actually named after our son, Christopher.
We're infamous for our packaging. Everybody knows Gurkha's got the best packaging, the most beautiful labels.
All your listeners out there, thank you. Be careful, be safe, and God bless you.
Long ashes and slow burns, my friend.
There you go.
Tell my brothers to line them up. We'll drink that whiskey from those old dirty cups. We'll toast to the present, the future, and the past. This ain't my first drink, but I sure it ain't my last. 'Cause this world is so beautiful. I see its love come shining through. This world is so beautiful.